Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kit Bash bringing you another action figure review. This time it is the SH Figuarts Let There Be Carnage figure. Now this figure is absolutely massive with a great amount of sculpt and detail. Even as we come around to the back here, you see even the butt cheeks are sculpted in there. You can also see this figure is pretty huge. Here he is next to a Marvel Legends Iron Man figure. Things I do not like, starting with the back of the figure, the tentacles, I despise these. I really wish these are swappable pieces. I wish they would come off. It feels like you're forced to use them, which understandably, because in the movie he has them. I'll attach them right now so you can see what they look like. Here's the tentacles plugged into the ports on the back. It looks pretty organic. There's not a lot of breakage on the tentacles, which I like. I do wish they were more breaks just to get more articulation out of them. But the way they're set up is not a bad look at all. But one of my gripes too is I don't really want to display them like this all the time. I would much rather have this be an option, like if I wanted to set it up that way. But I would prefer to have them out, which is why I wish they had swap out pieces. Maybe, I was going to say a swappable back, but this is not his back. That's his lower torso. So I don't know. I just wish there was some swappable stuff so you can make it look how you want it to look, not just statically like this. Did not attach the attachments yet because I wanted to show those separately. Because each individual hand, including the fists and open hands and everything, you can put on the tentacles. Let's just run through some options so you can check them out. So here's one string of options, a bunch of pointy, stabby things, I guess. He does have, you know, some of the looks he did from the movie as well. And like I said, each hand can be a variant of the tentacle spike. So let's check that out too. So here it is with all the like extra hands connected to it. And these are just the hands swappable for the body. But like you can see, you can put those on the tentacles as well. So that's pretty cool. Not a bad look. If you wanted Carnage to be holding somebody up while he's stabbing them, I guess, you can go for that look right there. It's not a bad look. You even get the fist on there. So that's pretty cool. A couple more swap outs. And here's just another variation of those hands and weapons on the tentacles. So while I don't like the tentacles having to be on all the time, at least you have a fun factor. You have the ability to make it look how you want to look, which is awesome. Anything customizable in my book is a win. So there's that. And also, each attachment can be a hand as well, as you can see here. Each one of these can be a hand, so that's pretty awesome too. Let's pop these tentacles off and take a look at the extra head. Here he is with two of those extra hands on. This one was already on. I just popped that one on just to show you. Here he is with some extra stabby hands. I gotta say, these look really good on the hands as well. They don't just look good on the tentacles, they look good on the hands. Like, I really like how this looks. You really can get a classic little Carnage going if you want to. I think this is probably my favorite set right here. I really like Carnage with big swords and big, like, symbiote weapons. So I think this would be one of my, well, you saw it already. I have the fist and then the go-to with the sword here. But yeah, that's a really nice set too. Also for hands, Carnage comes with fisted hands, slightly open, aggressive, grabby hands, and some open, scary, stabby hands. If you caught it yet, but I did repaint the head as well. Not repaint, but added paint. I put the black around the eyes. I also went in on the eyes. I don't know if I can get in there. I went in on the eyes and I put a little black wash in there just to make it look a little nasty. It's not perfect, but I really like it, especially compared to how it looked out the box. It didn't have a good look at all, so it looks really good. Actually, let me show you the other head too. Here's the open mouth head. Same thing with the eyes. I really wanted to get the black stuff in there just so it had the movie look on there. Eyes, like the veins and everything. So I think the wash that I did came out pretty good. I think it captured the look pretty well. Also had to add some paint to this head. I painted the tongue more purple too. Put purple in the mouth. I put a wash on the teeth as well. I also painted this part of the mouth red just to make it look a little more like wet, slimy type. I think they came out pretty sick. Let's actually go over this articulation. For articulation, this Carnage can do a lot. He can actually crouch all the way down. It's actually pretty sweet. His head can look pretty much all the way up. The only thing about that is if you go too far, the head will pop off. And it's like a little mushroom peg right there. Kind of weird. Usually you see ball joints in this situation, but I guess they wanted more articulation out of it. But yeah, the head can go up that far, can look down that far. You can get a little wiggle out of it too. So you can get pretty expressive with his head, little wiggly wobbly. The shoulders will do a 360. You can get about that far up. These tendrils don't get in the way at all, so that's pretty sweet as well. He has a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow gets in about that far. Sculpt's not gonna hinder it at all. You have a ball jointed wrist, so I call it a telescopic wrist because it'll go anywhere. It's probably not the right term, but that's what I'm calling it. His wrist will go anywhere. You get an upper crunch that can also be a swivel. It's pretty squeaky. It's not gonna break or anything. It's not like tight, but it's there. You also get a lower swivel crunch here. With all of that, Carnage will go forward that far. He'll go back that far with the squeaking. The hips do go up that far, back really far. This has that typical SHF, like hip butt cover thing. You can also see the detail in there. They spared no expense on the detail. Pretty good. Goes out that far. You do get a thigh swivel. Mine's is really tight, but you do get a thigh swivel, double jointed knee. Can't kick his own ass, but he can go pretty far. You do get also an ankle, goes down that far, which is pretty damn far. Up that far with the toe pivot for the focus. The toe pivot goes up, it goes down, and you do get a nice ankle rocker. You can get Carnage into some pretty gnarly poses if you take your time. Not even take your time. I'm gonna just pose it up really quick. See if I can get him in a crouch pose. It's probably one of my favorite poses with the tendrils connected. It looks pretty crazy. Let me see what I can do here. You can get Carnage crawling, which, see, that was a really quick thing I did there. But you can get him crawling, which is pretty awesome. Like if you had a Dio and you wanted him to be crawling up the side of a building or hanging off a building like this, so to speak. So he had his leg up, leg down, his legs, that claws into the building. A little more. You could have him hanging off the side of a building, so that's pretty sweet. And with the tendrils and everything attached, this thing looks monstrous. Let me show you that with everything attached. Here it is with all the tendrils on. Everything is attached. I got all of each tendril having a different accessory. So that's pretty gnarly. This thing looks pretty gnarly. I actually saw a repaint recently. It makes this thing look even better. I'm gonna attempt it, but I don't really like painting clear on my figures because of dust and everything, but I would love to attempt some things with this. All in all though, I will give the figure a solid like 7.5 out of 10. I think SHF really did a great job with this. The height, the scale, the detail, the paintwork, everything just looks immaculate on this figure. Like it's not even a debate whether this is, well, they didn't do a Marvel Legends, so it's not even a debate whether what a figure be better than this. This figure's great. The only thing I wish it had was that half Cletus head and half Carnage head like they did in the movie. Something like that. They didn't do that with Venom either, but it would have been nice. Tendrils all attached. This thing's great. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you like this video, there's other videos on the screen you can click on to check out some more reviews. And I'm out.